Hey YouTube, it's your boy Kenrick, aka the Optometry Prodigy. I'm coming at you this week with another YouTube video. Guys, we have passed the 1 month mark on the channel. Thank you guys so much again for the support. I'm going to continue to bring the videos. Let's go straight into this one. We're going to be talking about an introduction to low vision, and also we'll be touching on the LogMAR notation and what exactly it measures in low vision patients. And what exactly does low vision mean? And low vision is simply, in simple terms, it's the residual or the remaining vision that an individual has after possible surgeries to correct a certain condition. Sometimes even with spectacle or contact lens correction, they haven't been able to achieve their vision that they need to be able to function in their normal environments or be independent as an individual. The more technical definition for it is simply vision that is worse than 20/60 in our Snellen acuity, or even a visual field that is less than 10 degrees from the fixation point of the individual. And when we look at the statistics, what we have seen is that globally over 124 million, yes, 124 million people worldwide are living with some form of low vision. But what exactly causes the low vision? Many various eye diseases can cause low vision, but more the common ones that we would see is diabetic retinopathy. This can affect any part of the vision, whether it be central or the peripheral vision, because as we know, you can have possibly hemorrhages, etc., in certain regions that if it stays there a while, that part of the retina can become non-functional, or if we have retinal detachments that have been there in a prolonged period. Diabetic macular edema in certain cases, again, if it's there too long for a prolonged period of time, can cause damage to that part of the retina, causing central vision loss in the macular case, or with the blood in peripheral places, etc. We can have blind spots forming there as well. What about glaucoma or even retinitis pigmentosa? They would affect more the periphery of the individual, and we will get that what you call the tunnel vision, etc. And therefore their low vision in that case would be mainly affected in the periphery. We can also have cases of simple cataracts. If there is an individual living in a country or a place where cataract surgery is not really available, then that cataract is going to cause that person to develop their own form of what we call low vision again, because at the end of the day, if that person is not seen properly, they'll most likely become dependent on someone to do certain things for them, or in other cases, the job or the education, etc., that they may need to fulfill, that will be decreased, or the functionality in that case would be decreased because they have that low vision in this case. However, what do we do in those cases of low vision? Some of the main things that you would see us doing, we'd use, for near especially, we'd use magnifiers, whether it be stand magnifiers, hand magnifiers, chest magnifiers. We can also use the CCTV system, where the information they want to look at is projected onto a screen. Distance correction stuff, we have the telescopes or the power TV specs for more intermediate stuff, etc. There are various things we can do in that case. However, in terms of foreign countries, for instance, they would be using more advanced systems such as implants, possibly, and there are other services such as the guide dog service, where they use the dog to guide them or lead them around. There's also certain rehabilitation programs where the person may even come to their home and suggest certain adjustments that can be made to make the individual more dependent, or rather more independent in their home environment. And at the end of the day, we need to remember that this whole low vision area that I'm speaking about here, the low vision field, is really critically important, because let's say individuals lose that vision at age 20 or age 30, etc., any age as a matter of fact, that person, they still have some form of education or some form of work or socialization, etc., that they need to do. It's a general part of life, as we would know. So this is where the low vision part is critical in terms of someone's vision, or correcting someone's vision. What we can do is we'll be maximizing the vision that they have to help them you know, do those activities that they would want to do. It can be simple sports, etc. Get them involved in a normal way of life, or the, you know, normal activities that we would do in everyday life. But now let's go into how we would measure or evaluate the distance vision in terms of our measurement in visual acuity. What we use for distance is, we call it LogMAR, or the logarithm of the minimum angle of resolution. So let's take a look now at that. Okay guys, so here we have our LogMAR chart. As we can see, LogMAR charts have 5 letters per row. It has the equivalents to Snellen, or the various different notations that we can use, decimal, etc. I just placed the 2020 Snellen equivalents for you to see here. And the thing with the LogMAR chart, why we use it specifically for low vision, is because of its accuracy and possibly reliability of the chart. You would see it used a lot in terms of research, etc. And one of the main reasons for that is because it doesn't just give value to the line that the person reads, but it gives value to each letter in that line. For instance, let's say the person is reading the top line, V, D, R, S, N. If the person misses any of these letters here, or any letter in a line, you would add 0.02 to the LogMAR unit that is stated on the line. So in this case, let's say he missed, or the person missed the V and they read D, R, S, N, we would add 0.1 to the LogMAR. So basically that person visual acuity would have been 1.2. So as I said, each letter that they miss, each letter missed, 0.02 we would add to the LogMAR. And the other case that we can have, LogMAR charts are made for different meters. So for instance, in this case, let's say it's a 4-meter chart. If the person doesn't see anything on that 4-meter chart at the 4 meters, we can half it, or we can bring up the chart to 2 meters. The same chart, the same 4-meter chart, we bring it up to 2 meters, and we can then see what they are able to read then. If we move that chart, we need to add 0.3. We need to add 0.3 to the LogMAR. No matter what they read on the line, make sure and add 0.3 if you bring up that share a half of the meter that it is required to be at. And again, let's say this is when we brought it up 2 meters. If we bring it up another meter, or if we half it again, we bring it up another half, so it will be at a meter. We need to add 0.3. So every time we bring up that chart half of its length, we need to add 0.3. So 2 things to note, especially for the LogMAR again: add 0.3 whenever you half, or you bring up the chart by half of whatever distance it's supposed to be at. In this case, or in this example, we are using the 4-meter chart. Another thing to note, whatever letter the person misses on a line, you need to add 0.02 to the unit LogMAR. Same thing, 0.3 to the unit LogMAR if we have the chart. Let's say, for instance, the person missed possibly 2 letters. We need to add 0.02 for every letter missed. So let's say in this case the person missed 2, we need to add 0.04 because again 2 letters is missed. So just to make sure we break down this and that you understand properly, let's use some examples. So here we have the case with Mr. John. He can see 4 letters in a row of 0.8 unit LogMAR with his better seeing eye at 4 meters. Things to note about this: we're on the 0.8 line here. Good. He's reading 4 letters. Let's say he reads Z, O. Let's say he misses the N and he reads C and R. Z, O, C, R. He reads that, he misses the N. So he has read 4 letters in that row of 0.8. So we're using a 4-meter chart, and it wasn't halved or anything like that. It's still at its 4 meter. In this case, we don't We don't have to add 0.3. So we go straight ahead in adding what letters he missed. So he would have read the first line, he would have read the second line, and now he's on the third line and he missed a letter. So in this case now, we add 0.02 to whatever the LogMAR line the person is on. So in his case, we would have 0.82. This will be his visual acuity, 0.82. Let's look at another example. Let's line up this better. Okay, good. So Mrs. Drakes, she can see 2 letters in a row of 0.6 LogMAR with a better seeing eye at 2 meters. For all our examples, we are using 4 meter charts. So you should already see in this example that this chart was halved because it's at 2 meters there. So we already know that we need to add a 0.3, so we can write that on the side there. So let's go back to here now, 0.6 line she's on, so we're on the 0.6 line here, and she has only been able to read 2 of those letters. So let's say she reads V, she misses the S, she misses the O, she reads Z, and she misses the H. So in this case, she has missed 3 letters, the S, the O, the H. Remember, once she has reached this line, we know that she read this line, she read this line, she read this line, she read this line. She's now having problem with this 5th line here. So as I said before, because she missed 1, 2, 3 letters, we need to add 0.02 3 times. So we can write out all of this here, but a normal in terms of maths, we can just add this together in our head anyhow. So we know that this is 0.06. So straight off the bat, you can go 0.06, sorry, 0.06, and we can add that directly there. So these are what we need to add. Don't forget, this is always at the top. We always need to make sure and add our unit LogMAR. This is where the person is at. This is the line that they are reading. So we add our 0.6. This is for this side if you want to do it in this way, or if you can do it in your head, you could just add the 6 one time. In this case, we would have what? The 6 comes down here, 3 and 6, 9. So this person is able to see 0.96 LogMAR. That would be her visual acuity, 0.96 LogMAR. Okay, so let's look at another example. Let's round things off. So Mr. Paul can see 3 letters in a row. Okay, so Mr. Paul, he can see 3 letters in a row of 0.8 unit LogMAR. So 0.8. He can see 3 letters. So let's say Z, N, and C. He misses the O, he misses the R. That's in his right eye, OD. And in his left eye, he can see 1 letter in 0.3 LogMAR. So 0.3 down here, he's able to see 1 letter. Let's say he reads the K in this case, and he misses 4 of the letters. So this is OS. The chart is at 4 meter, so we don't need to add 0.3. We don't need to do that because we're not bringing up the chart. Let's look at the right eye. How much will we need, or what is his visual acuity in his right eye? 0.8. This is the unit LogMAR. He misses 2, so that'll be 0.04, because it's 2 sets of 0.02, and we would have here now 0.84 as his LogMAR for his right eye. How about the left eye? We have OS, we have his 0.3 from the LogMAR, and he has missed 4 letters. So that means we have to add 4 sets of 0.2. Sorry, 4 sets of 0.02, which would be 0.08, because it's 4 sets of 0.02. And this will give us here now 0.38. So he has 0.84 in his right eye, 0.38 in his left. What I want you to notice with this example though, his better seeing eye, which is his left eye, the better seeing eye has a LogMAR of 0.38. The thing about this, he is not low vision. Low vision is considered 20/60 or worse in the better seeing eye. This eye is not worse than 20/60. It's better than 20/60. So he's not low vision in this example. And guys, that's it for this week's video. Things to note from today's video: low vision is simply vision that is worse than 20/60 in the better seeing eye of the individual. Things to note about LogMAR: we need to add 0.02 to any letter missing on the line that the patient is reading. If the patient misses 1 letter, we add 0.02 to the unit LogMAR. If the patient misses 3 letters, we add 0.06 to the unit LogMAR. If the patient requires the chart to be moved up in order to see the letters on the chart, we need to add 0.3, because we are going to half the distance. We add 0.3. So if it's a 4 meter chart and we move it to 2, we add 0.3. If it's at 2 meters and we move it to 1, we add another 0.3. So that's it, guys. Be safe. I'm out. Peace.